The story of Sarah. She is safe now. Here is the story. I never thought a device the size of a quarter could make me fear for my life. My name is Sarah. I'm 28 years old, and this is how an Apple AirTag turned my life into a nightmare. It started 3 months ago on a Friday night in October. I'd just broken up with my boyfriend Marcus after 2 years together. He didn't take it well. The texts kept coming. The calls wouldn't stop. I blocked him, but he'd find new numbers. I should have seen the warning signs. That Friday, I went out with friends to celebrate my newfound freedom. We were at a downtown bar, having drinks, laughing. Around midnight, I said goodbye and walked to my car alone. The parking lot was almost empty. I started driving home, and that's when my phone buzzed. At a red light, I glanced at the notification. AirTag detected near you. I had no idea what that meant. I didn't own an AirTag. Why was my phone telling me about one? 5 minutes later, another alert. AirTag found moving with you. My heart started racing. The notification showed a map of exactly where this AirTag had been traveling. It had been following me since I left the bar. I pulled into a gas station, hands trembling. The notification said the AirTag had been detected for over an hour. Someone was tracking me. But who? And where was it hidden? I got out and started searching frantically. My purse, dumping everything onto the seat. Nothing. My coat pockets, nothing. My wallet, nothing. I was standing in that parking lot at midnight, feeling completely exposed. Whoever put that AirTag on me could be watching right now. Then I remembered a TikTok video I'd seen. People hide AirTags on cars. I got down on my knees in that dirty parking lot, still in my dress and heels, and checked under my car. That's when I found it. Taped inside my rear wheel well, a white disc about the size of a coin, an Apple AirTag. Someone had tracked every single place I went, and they'd done it while I was inside that bar, completely unaware. I ripped it off, standing there, with shaking hands. I knew who it was. Marcus. He was the only one who would do this. The only one who'd want to know where I was, who I was with. Here's the terrifying part. I'd moved to a new apartment 2 weeks earlier and hadn't told him my address. But if he'd been tracking me this whole time, he knew exactly where I lived. I called 911. The dispatcher told me to stay in public. I drove to a 24-hour diner and waited. When the police arrived and took my statement, they weren't as concerned as I expected. One officer actually asked, "Did he threaten you? Did he show up at your house?" When I said no, he told me there wasn't much they could do. Placing an AirTag on someone's car wasn't technically illegal in our state unless it was part of a larger stalking pattern. I couldn't believe it. Someone had secretly tracked my every movement, and the police couldn't help unless something worse happened first. The officer explained that each AirTag has a serial number tied to an Apple ID, and they could request that information through a subpoena, but it would take time. Meanwhile, I should be vigilant. I went home terrified. I kept all the lights on, pushed furniture against the door, and didn't sleep at all. Every sound made me jump. Every car passing by made me peek through the curtains. The next morning, Marcus texted from another new number at 1:47 a.m. "Hope you got home safe." He knew I'd found the AirTag, and he wanted me to know that he knew. Then I realized something even more horrifying. My phone didn't alert me until I'd been driving for over an hour. Marcus could have been tracking me for days, maybe weeks, without me knowing. How many times had he followed me to work? How many times had he sat outside my apartment watching? I started researching online and found hundreds of similar stories. Women finding AirTags in their purses, coat pockets, taped under their cars. One woman's ex slipped one into her daughter's backpack. Another found one inside her gas cap door. The worst part? The price. $29. That's all it costs to stalk someone now. $29 for a device that tracks someone's every movement using millions of iPhones as relay points. Apple designed AirTags with anti-stalking features. They're supposed to beep if separated from their owner for 8 to 24 hours. But the beep is quiet, really quiet, especially if hidden in a wheel well, and it only beeps once. The notification system is supposed to alert iPhone users if an unknown AirTag travels with them, but it can take hours. Marcus already knew where I lived by the time I got the alert. And if I'd had an Android phone, I wouldn't have gotten any notification unless I manually downloaded an app and actively scanned. I filed for a restraining order. It took 3 weeks. During that time, I changed everything. Different routes to work every day. Stopped going to my favorite places, checked under my car every morning and night. I couldn't park in my apartment's underground garage anymore because it was too dark, too isolated. When the restraining order came through, Marcus appeared in court. He didn't deny placing the AirTag. His lawyer claimed he was just worried about her safety. The judge didn't buy it. Marcus was ordered to stay 500 feet away from me. But here's what keeps me up at night. AirTags cost $29. If Marcus wanted to track me again, he'd just buy another one and hide it somewhere new, and I wouldn't know until hours later. I joined a support group for women stalked with tracking devices. There are dozens of us in my city alone. One woman's ex put an AirTag in her kid's car seat. Another found 3 different AirTags over 6 months. Her ex kept buying new ones every time she found one. The worst story was about a woman whose ex tracked her for 2 months. He learned her entire routine. One night he showed up at her apartment with a gun. She survived barely. There's even been a murder. A woman in Indianapolis allegedly used an AirTag to track her boyfriend, then ran him over with her car. He died. His family found the AirTag hidden deep in his car seat after his death. Apple says they condemn any malicious use of their products, and that incidents of AirTag misuse are rare. But they're not rare. Police departments nationwide have logged hundreds of reports, and those are just the reported ones. It's been 3 months, and I'm still looking over my shoulder. I still check under my car every morning. I moved apartments again last month and told no one my address except my parents. Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. AirTags were designed to help find lost keys, but it only takes one person with bad intentions and $29 to turn a helpful device into a weapon. So please, be careful. Check your cars. Check your bags. If you have an iPhone, keep Bluetooth and location services on. If you have Android, download the detection app. If you find an unknown AirTag, document it and file a police report immediately. Because I know how easy it is, how cheap it is, how a tiny disc smaller than a coin, can give someone complete control over your life. Stay safe out there. You're not alone. If this story